Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to Adam McKola TV. I am Adam. We are live. This is the Arsenal against Manchester United preview. Another big game for Manchester United on the road. United go in search of their first back-to-back league away wins of the season. Yes, that's right. Obviously, last time we beat City, we lost against Watford, so we failed to achieve it there. This time around, we've got to go to Arsenal and see if we can get 3 points and make it our first back-to-back away wins of the season. The fact that we haven't done that yet is pretty abysmal for Manchester United, but it shows where the inconsistencies lie in this team, both in performance and result. But another thing that Manchester United haven't done this season, and it shows a sign of recovery, ability to bounce back. One thing we haven't done this season either is lost 2 games on the spin, so that's great to see as well from the Manchester United team. The ability to lose and then recover mentally, physically, get the result in the next game is always a good one. We've lost 1 game a month this season. Now, any Manchester United side, that's not great, but given where we are, you can kind of understand it. It's the way that we've lost some of those games that's really annoying, and the teams that we've lost to. If we lost to Manchester City and beat Watford, I don't think anybody would be feeling disappointed about things, you know what I mean? And it's been that way throughout the season. Every single team above us, who's above us at this moment in time in the table? Chelsea, we beat them. Man City, we beat them. Leicester City, we beat them. Liverpool, we drew with them. We're the only team to take points against a team that are going to be champions this season. So you look at that, and there's been positives and negatives of the season, and it's been an up and down campaign as it is. When you look at the whole Premier League season, it hasn't been great. But now we're going to Arsenal, a team with a new manager, Arteta in the dugout, looking for his first win, his 3rd game in charge of the side. Obviously, last time out, they lost against Chelsea from a winning position. Now, a lot of talk about Arteta's Arsenal having improved, and I thought there was an improvement in commitment, in desire, in performance levels, but the way they played, I don't think it was actually that great. So looking at that, and you're thinking United should be going to Arsenal confident of getting a result, whether that's a win or a draw. We should be going there looking confident to get a result, especially tactically in these bigger games. We have been a little bit better, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has got a decent record at the Emirates Stadium in terms of getting a performance out of the team. I know we lost that 2nd game there. We had the cup game, we won that. We lost the 2nd game there in the league. But the performance of Manchester United that day was really good, and we saw some good football as well. So I'm hoping we can see that again this time around at Arsenal, and I'm sure tactically he'll have something up his sleeve. It's difficult to judge this Arsenal side because obviously you're looking at it, and Arteta's only had 2 games. He's only had 2 games, so what you're going off is very little. They might try and spring a surprise. They might do something different in this game. So it is hard to judge Arsenal and Arteta and how they're going to set up. But we know what kind of threats they have in their team. We know what kind of issues they can cause teams. And United, we've just got to go out there and make sure we get at their defence. If we concede 1, we can definitely score 2. I know that for a fact. Arsenal's defence is gettable. And with the pace that we have in the side, with their willingness to want to beat us and come out and attack and impress their home fans and their manager, it may leave us some gaps at the back. So that's what we're hoping in this game. I'm going to dive into the comments, and we'll dive back into the preview for the Manchester United game. Happy New Year, Southern. Thank you for the message. Martial, Marcus and Mason should have that Arsenal backline on toast, says Colin. Do you think it will be James or Mason Greenwood, or could we see James and Mason Greenwood? But if you see James and Mason Greenwood, you're very unlikely to see Martial and Marcus Rashford at the same time. I think Martial and Marcus Rashford are the ones that, injury permitting, they're going to start this game. Injury permitting, they're going to start this game. It's about whether it's Daniel James or Mason Greenwood on the right. I feel because of the way, you know, Arsenal's fullbacks are, I think we might look to go and play with Danny James. Someone with bags of pace, someone that will be able to use the big pitch at the Emirates on the counter-attack. I think we'll use Daniel James in this game. That's not to say Mason Greenwood isn't a fantastic talent. I just think Daniel James will probably be the one we go with in this game. Although, I wouldn't be surprised to see Mason Greenwood used at all. When you look at Mason Greenwood, He's risen to every challenge that he's faced at Manchester United. He's scoring goals, got 8 for the season already, which is a fantastic output for a player. Look, in your first season, Mason Greenwood, we would have been saying, if he can get 5 goals this season, amazing. He's already gone past that. He's already gone past that. Has had a handful of starts, so he's outscoring in terms of his starts. Obviously, he's had a lot of substitution appearances, but Mason Greenwood has been absolutely incredible. And a video I made at the start of the season as well, which was, we need 50 goals minimum between Martial and Rashford. That's 25 apiece. At the moment, Rashford's on 16, Martial's on 10. That's 26. They're halfway there already. Over halfway there, which is great. But then you add Mason Greenwood's 8 goals into that. That's 34 goals. And our front three has more goals than Liverpool's front three. Now, I don't think Liverpool's front three has been as prolific as they were last season. I think Sadio Mane has been amazing. Firmino and Salah haven't been scoring goals, and they're obviously a better all-round team. They're top of the league by miles, for fuck's sake. But the fact that, you know, they're scoring as many goals as they are is great to see, and we need that to continue. We need that to continue. If Martial and Rashford don't hit 20 goals this season, it'd be a disgrace. They both know it as well. Unless they had an injury or something, which, touch wood, doesn't happen, it'd be a disgrace. So I'm hoping they will. I mean, we look at Martial. He had 10 goals in that season where we signed Sanchez. Sanchez come in, and then after that it all changed, and Martial wasn't seen again. Now that's not going to happen this time around. So Martial's going to have the chances to get his first 20 goal season. So is Marcus Rashford. Oh, sorry, as it just changed. They did score the other day, obviously. So yeah, Mane's goal probably edged them ahead. Mate, I weren't comparing the front three. Why not anyone listen? Like, well, most of you listen, but come on, Zach. Did I ever say our front three is better than theirs? Did those words come out of my mouth? Did I even say? I even went on to say Liverpool are the best team in the league. They're above the league by miles. They're winning the league. So I didn't say that. That's not what I said. I said that output is what we need. We need this kind of output from our front three. And when Romelu Lukaku left, we needed this output. The problem for us is we get an injury, we're fucked. We get an injury and we are done. As we saw earlier in the season, Martial gets injured, and then we've got Marcus Rashford, Mason Greenwood, Daniel James, which is possibly our front three. And we've got problems. Rashford normally becomes the main man through the middle, and that doesn't suit him in my opinion. Even if you watch the video he recently did with Robin van Persie, and I don't mean Mason Greenwood. If you see the video Rashford did with Robin van Persie, he says that, you know, I love playing on the left. I think it's my best position. I don't think it's left wing. I don't think it's number 9. It's my best position. And that's great to see, that he's enjoying where he's playing as well. He's not playing in a position. He's not playing like, oh, I want to be in the number 9 position. And he also said, who do you like playing with the most? And he said, Martial. And when we're both scoring games, I'm so happy. And there's that. I actually see that between them, and that's great to see as well. Especially with the way some of our fan base is. You either love Martial and hate Rashford, or you hate Martial and love Rashford. I don't know why we can't just appreciate both of them. We've got both of them, and they're both fantastic talent. And he said, I just want it. When we both score, it's the best feeling ever. And he's got a smile on his face. I've got a smile on my face. And it's like, we want that. We want these lot to be coming through together, pushing each other on, you know, trying to set the levels for each other as well. And that's great to see. David, that was weird. It was weird when it Rashford. He weren't speaking with a Dutch accent. He was speaking the way many English people speak when they speak to someone that English isn't their first tongue. But I don't know. Maybe it's just Rashford just trying to get his point across. It's, you know, whatever. Love the guy though. Let's see what comments. How long is McSauce out for? Says Blake. So Scott McTominay is out for 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, which is a massive, massive blow to Manchester United. Now we've heard talk, by the way, it's a Pata goalkeeper shirt. for Ryan, who asked. But yeah, when you look at McTominay's injury and you hear the talks about how we're possibly now in for 2 central midfielders this summer, this transfer window. For one, I don't think that will happen, so I don't think it's likely to happen. If we got one in this window, I'd be ecstatic. But Ali then went on to say in his press conference today, we don't want to be signing players, that we wouldn't be signing in the summer. That's totally fair. Now, you'd like to think the club could do their due diligence and have signings prepared, whether it be the possibility of January or the summer. Try and make it in January. If it doesn't happen, it happens in the summer. But I don't get that confidence. I don't think that's Ollie's fault necessarily. And we've seen his issues with the club in the past. Obviously, it's difficult to sign players in January anyway. But we have a board that find it difficult to sign players in the summer. So I'm not foreseeing anything. And if we've got these massive injuries to Scott McTominay, Paul Pogba should be back for this game. Whether he's on the bench or starting, I don't know. But Ali has mentioned he'll be back travelling with the squad. We've obviously got Timbo back in training, Bailly back in training, which is great to see. Timothy mentioned James Garner getting into the team. It may just be a case of us hoping Jimmy Garner, Dylan Levitt, Timothy Fosu-Mensah, between them can help cover in that central midfield area. They're all, Fosu's just coming back from a massive injury. We can't rush him back yet, although I hope he returns to his old self. And James Garner, Dylan Levitt are still very, very young. We've heard talk about Gedson Fernandes coming in a potential move now. He plays for Benfica. He's fallen out with the manager at the moment, which is why there's talk of a move. Now, I get the feeling this one is the agent pushing that out. I think his agent's Pini Zahavi, I might be wrong. Who's an experienced agent, pushing that out just to get, some sort of reaction from the market elsewhere. And maybe Manchester United aren't necessarily in for him, but he is a very talented player. His form this season has been, iffy, but he's a young player. Kind of fits the bill. Whether he comes in or not, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I don't know whether we'll make a move happen, but he's someone that has fallen out with his manager. So that probably makes the move a little bit easier. And there's talk of a loan with a view to buy for 30-odd million in the summer, which would probably be an ideal move. But can't see it happening. I cannot see it happening. I don't think we'll sign anyone of note in this transfer window. Although if we sign anyone, I'd really hope it would be a midfielder. Now we know Erling Haaland isn't going to happen. He's gone to Borussia Dortmund. Now it was clear United were in for him. There was talk that we pulled out because his dad wanted a buy-on clause and percentage and this, that and the other. There was a release fee. Mino Raiola did deny that. So, he may have just chose Dortmund. But for me, getting a central midfielder is so much more important. Yes, if we get an injury there, we're ruined. But we've got injuries at the moment. Scotty ain't going to be back until probably February, March. That's most of the rest of the campaign out. So we need midfield cover. Jack Grealish or Maddison, says Shivesh. I'd take either of them, I'm a big fan of both. Jackie Grealish, class player. Done it in more difficult circumstances. And James Maddison, obviously a great player as well. I'd take either or both. Michael Kennedy, thank you for the super chat, mate. Really do appreciate it. He says Rojo to PSG. Now this comes from the fact that our favourite Argentinian, Marcos Rojo, was pictured wearing a PSG shirt. Now it looked like a Champions League edition. Did he get that PSG shirt in a shirt swap after United played PSG? That's a possibility. But everyone was acting like it was, oh shit, he's going to PSG. It's not. He was wearing a shirt on a break. He's obviously injured at this moment in time. He was on a break in Argentina at his old club, taking pictures. It might have even been a Herrera shirt. He's friends with Herrera, do you know what I mean? So I don't think it's hinting at a move or anything at all. I think football players, football fans wear all sorts of different shirts. I think obviously you rarely see players do it, but I don't think it's a massive deal, to be totally honest with you. Not at all. Now, obviously, I'd say the same if it was Pogba, but if it was Pogba, this would be blown out of all sorts of proportion. Can you imagine that Pogba wearing a Mbappe shirt, PSG one of his teammates? What would be said? Go nuts. Obviously, he wouldn't, because it is Nike, it is Adidas, and that's probably the only thing stopping it. But I'd say the same again. Like, it doesn't really matter, does it? They don't wear United shirts when they walk around. Can you imagine them wearing their work uniform when they're walking around on the street? Paul Pogba wearing a United shirt, Marcus Rojo wearing a United shirt, walking around. You'd think, what the fuck are you doing? I think him wearing a PSG shirts, like, carry on, bro. It's the football shirt. In fact, those Jordan shirts are quite decent. If it wasn't a Jordan one, though, was it? But nevertheless, it's not a 90s goalkeeper. Well, it is a 90s goalkeeper shirt. It's a patter top, which they released with Umbro. And it's based on a retro goalkeeper shirt, which I really like. Raiola said Pogba won't be leaving in January. Thoughts, says Shivesh. I agree with this as well. I never thought Pogba would leave in January. I've often said it. I could have been wrong at the times when I was saying it, but I was saying I don't think he'll leave in January. The club just won't let that happen. Look at our midfield. And Raiola's been quite positive in what he's been saying about his relationship with Oli, his relationship with the club, about him wanting to move on. You know, he's not really forcing it. He's happy to stay if Oli wants to keep him, and all this kind of palaver. Now, does that mean the trouble's over in the summer? No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean the trouble's over in the summer, because he's got 1 year left, I believe, on his contract in the summer. It may be one with an option for an extra one. But when he goes down to his last year of the contract, what we've got to realise is Mino Raiola would be happy for him to run his contract down, because then he gets another fat signing on fee. It's all about whether Pogba signs a new deal, I think. And that's the important thing. If we get to the end of this year or the summer and he hasn't signed a new deal, and he's still at the club, you'd start to think, you know, what's happening there? But it's good to hear these things and not to hear anyone rocking the boat or trying to, you know, cause any trouble. But I fully expect it will pop up again. It will rear its head again in the summer. And just fingers crossed he can sign a new deal at Man United, because I love him as a player. He's a fantastic player. I defend him a lot as a person as well, because I think he gets a lot of unfair stick. But, you know, when you say things like you said in the summer, it's not going to help at all. I don't think he's caused an issue when he never got his move. And I think he's kept his head down, which has been good. But I think he's a fantastic player, and I think he is someone that wants to succeed at Manchester United. I mean, Raiola said that himself in the other interview he did, and I truly believe it. I think he signed for United in good intentions. I think United signed him and probably made promises to him in terms of where we're going to be as a club, what we're going to be challenging for, and it didn't happen. And he's now thinking, what's the point? Do you know what I mean? He didn't sign a new deal in the summer when he was offered one, which is obviously, you know, he may change his mind about that. There's a bit of a different number added on the check, but he didn't sign a deal in the summer. It was clear he did want to move on for footballing reasons, and he's here. He's still here. He's not kicking up a fuss. Let's hope when he gets back and he's fit and he's hopefully playing against Arsenal, we get a good performance out of him. Because if he plays well, United play well, and United will probably win if he performs well. Right then, let's move on to my predicted 11s for the game against Arsenal. I've gone with David De Gea in goal, Aaron Wan-Bissaka to make a return to the starting lineup, Lindelof, Maguire and Brandon Williams. Obviously Scott McTominay's out. I don't think we're going to look to play Pogba in that deep lying role. So I think we could see Matic and Fred with James, Pogba, Rashford and Martial. My starting lineup, preferred 11, would have Pogba, Fred and Jesse Lingard. I think Jesse Lingard is made for these games, especially, you know, he's had good times at the Emirates. I think he's shown glimpses of his old self recently, although he's still not completely in form. But I think this is the kind of game where he'd thrive in. Daniel James, Jesse Lingard, Pogba, Rashford, Marshall on the break. I think that'd be great. Obviously leaves us a little light in midfield. And as Shivesh says in the comments, Matic done well in the last game. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him keep a spot in a team at all. And that's why I've gone with that preferred 11. Pogba should be travelling with the squad, which is obviously very good news. Hopefully he gets involved. The obvious opposition key player, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, their top goal scorer this season. Even when they're playing badly, he seems to pop up with a goal. I think he's a top player. Rumours about his future as well, whether he wants to leave or not. I was thinking about that one. Aubameyang to United. Now obviously it probably wouldn't have happened. They wouldn't sell him to us. Although we thought that about a few other players in the past. But when you think Aubameyang, the right age in terms of you're not going to be around for too long, 2-3 years. Goals suited to the Prem, a different option. He'd obviously want to start games, and for me, I wouldn't. You could play him in a front three with Rashford and Marshall, but I wouldn't want to see him starting regularly ahead of them. But it's an interesting one. He wants to leave. Rumours of a move to Real and Barcelona. But yeah, Aubameyang, he scored in the last game as well. And what annoyed me in the last game, the 1-1, now it was clearly onside. Aubameyang was onside. So that is what I'm saying first. Aubameyang was onside. So the goal should have stood. But what frustrates me in the Premier League with the way they're using VAR, I think we've all had these issues, is when you look at the way they use VAR, it's fucking annoying. Why? For marginal issue, like if the lino knows for a fact it's offside, brother, put your flag up. What's the point waiting on? If you know for a fact it's offside because it's one of them ones where the geezer's standing miles offside, he's walking back and he's thought, oh fuck it, I'll touch it. Put your flag up. If it's tight, like a tiger, if it's tight, yeah, fucking leave your flag down. And in that game, he put his flag up. Aubameyang was miles onside. De Gea stopped. Defence stopped. And you've seen that recently in games as well. The Adam Lallana handball against Wolves, I don't think it was a handball. I think it hit here. The Van Dijk one, that's a different story, but the angles are very weird on that one. One of them looks like there's a shadow there, so the ball's not touching his arm, but it's behind his arm, so it looks like it is. Whatever, but the marginal one that I'm on about, in the box, the ball's hit here, right here, so it's on the border. It's hit here, Mane's finished it. But in between that happening, the ref's blown his whistle. Brother, you've got VAR. If the goals get scored, goals get checked anyway. Wait 2 seconds, the ball might go wide, blow the whistle, handball. Even though your decision was wrong. Like, you don't have to put your flag up or blow the whistle every time. It's so frustrating. And I think the way VAR was used in the World Cup, the way it's used elsewhere, Bundesliga, etc., is a lot better. Now, me personally, I'm against VAR in the sense that you can't get VAR down the park on a Sunday. You can't get VAR at non-league level, at division, League 1, League 2 level. So why have it at Premier League level? Like, it's not the same game. Then goal line technology, all right, fair enough. But that's a fact. Like, that is a factual thing. The ball's over, the ball's not. And I know you only get that at top flight, but still, hear me out. I was never for VAR. But when I saw VAR at the World Cup, I thought, I could do with that. It's not that bad. We lost the league title because Drogba was offside. Jose Mourinho made a career because Paul Scholes was wrongly given offside. And big decisions have cost United over the years. Nani, I don't think he gets sent off with VAR. Actually, he probably does because Champions League's a bit weird. But nevertheless, I thought that was VAR. And now we've got some fraudulent VAR in the Premier League. It's still Mike Dean with VAR, so it's not great, do you know what I mean? It's not great at all. Stoic, it says the same. I agree with you as well, mate. It's the same with rugby. You only get technology at top flight. Same with tennis, same with cricket. I know. But for me, I played cricket at school. But I've just got dragged into the team because I was a good batsman. I didn't really enjoy it. Like, football has been my life, so I'm only ever going to refer to football as something. And just, you know, when you're playing on a Saturday at, you know, semi-pro level, or you haven't got VAR, bro. I just think it should be the same everywhere. Thierry and France wouldn't have robbed Ireland. That's true as well. Gutted about that I was. What a blatant handball as well. What kind of ref misses that? And like, the shithousery of Henri to just carry on. Like, if you'd done that, you'd think, oh, wait, oh, I just handballed it. You kind of just stop a second. You just didn't even think about it, just carried on. Great shithousery, although it affected the Irish and it affected my family, so fuck you, Thierry. And hopefully he'll be fucking up his team this weekend as well as this week, sorry, on New Year's Day as we play against Arsenal. It's Sir Alex Ferguson's birthday today, which is great. Hopefully we can give him a birthday to remember with a win on the following day, obviously, the day after his birthday, at Arsenal. I'm going for a 2-1 win to Manchester United, the same score we beat City and Spurs by. I don't know why I get confident for these games. I'm not expecting an easy game. I think Arsenal have shown they're fully committed to Arteta at the moment. Their players are performing. They seem to have a tactical plan. Obviously, they make a lot of mistakes defensively. Mustafi, David Luiz, even Leno getting dragged into it now. So there will always be chances for us. But they've got threats of their own. Pepe hasn't started, which is weird. Well, it's probably not weird given his performances. But you're looking at a front three possibly of Saka. Did Saka play last game? I think he did. But you're looking at it. Aubameyang, Lacazette, Ozil. They're probably going to start. Willock's been playing pretty well for them recently. I think we can get at Maitland-Niles, to be totally honest with you. I think he's definitely gottable. And if we can beat Arsenal, if we can beat Arsenal and a couple of results go our way, the bottom, they'll be like 2 points away from relegation zone. It'll be amazing. They haven't won a game in 5. They haven't won since beating West Ham away from home. But a game against Manchester United is all you need to get up for it. And I'm sure their fans will be up for it. If we can win, it's a huge win. At the moment, we're 4 points outside the top 4, sitting in 5th, 1 point ahead of Tottenham, Wolves, 2 points ahead of Sheffield United, 4 points ahead of Palace. So it looks like we're kind of in that 4th to 8th. That's probably where our position this season is going to lie, between 4th and 8th. Obviously, if Arsenal come back up into it, you could probably stretch that to 9th. But 4th and 8th is probably whereabouts we'll finish. Sorry, I didn't mean Saka. Saka played right back, you're right. Maitland-Niles played as well, didn't he? He can be got at for sure. Let me see. Right, sorry. I'm just looking at their team for the last game. So they had Leno, Maitland-Niles, Saka as fullbacks, Chambers and Luiz. Chambers is now out with a long-term injury, so they'll be gutted with that one. So you're looking at probably who came on for Luiz, Mustafi. You're looking at David Luiz and Mustafi, Saka and Maitland-Niles. Leno's not going to be confident because of the problem he had. We should be fucking roasting that back 4. Then you got Torreira and Guendouzi in front of him. Nelson, Ozil, Aubameyang and Lacazette. I think he's going to play the same team. I don't get why Aubameyang plays out wide. Lacazette, I don't want to say he's shit because he's probably going to score against United now. But Aubameyang's so much better than Lacazette. Why does he have to get sacrificed out wide? And Lacazette plays through the middle? I don't get that one at all. I do think though, it's a tricky game, but I do think we'll overcome them and get a 2-1 win. United had 24 hours of more time to relax as well. But of course, we do have to make that journey down to London. They would have had 2 home games. So there's obviously that. But as I said, I'm predicting a Manchester United win. I'm going for a 2-1 win. Wahid's going for a 3-0 win with Martial getting his first hat-trick for Manchester United. Our pace should have that back 4 in pieces, says Mika. Mustafi and Luiz couldn't have asked for a better New Year present, says Shivesh. Arsenal's work rate has improved, says Timothy. Arteta out, says John. with a lovely bit of AFTV magic in the comments. Get your comments and your score predictions in right about now as well, and I'll read as many of those out as I can before I shoot off on this here Arsenal vs Manchester United preview. Remember, I'll be live outside the Emirates Stadium tomorrow as soon as the game finishes, and I'm done fan cams. I'll be live, so probably about 30 minutes after the full-time whistle, 45 minutes after the full-time whistle, I'll be live outside the Emirates talking about hopefully a Manchester United win. I'm predicting 2-1 to Manchester United, but a score draw wouldn't surprise me at all. And let me know what your score predictions are. Ryan's going for a 4-2 win. Remember that 4-2 win? John O'Shea chipped the keeper and Cristiano Ronaldo got a brace. That was great days at Highbury. Thomas Clark says 4-1. 3-1 says Ashwin. 2-1 says Arrest. 3-1 says Dom. Everton fan in the comments says 3-1 United. So that's a neutral perspective. And Rabia says 3-1 United, as does Anthony. So a lot of 3-1s, a lot of both teams to score, a lot of Manchester United to win in the comments. There's a lot of confidence about it at the moment. Let's hope Manchester United can justify that confidence with a victory at the Emirates this New Year's Day. Guys, thank you for tuning in to Adam McKola TV. It's been an absolute blast with you all this year on the channel. Sorry my work rate is really shit. I promise to improve as the year goes on. I'm going to be adding more stuff as well. I might start a podcast or something like that and just start making more content on this channel. So thank you for tuning in. Make sure you're liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing. And for now, I have been Adam McKola. I'm out of here.